Feed your mind just as you do your body. Feed it with good ideas wherever they can be found. Always be on the lookout for a good idea, a business idea, a product idea, a service idea, an idea for personal improvement. Every new idea will help to refine your philosophy. Your philosophy will guide your life, and your life will unfold with distinction and pleasure. Jim Rohn. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. This episode is sponsored by the Become Your Own Boss Planner. I created this planner for myself over 5 years ago, and I am so excited to now be able to say it's available for purchase on Amazon. You can find more information about the planner and how it can help you achieve your goals from the link in the show notes. Today, I'm bringing you the first part of my Kickstart Your Business series. This is for you if you are new to entrepreneurship, uncertain about starting a business, or feeling lost in managing its complexities. Whether you lack an entrepreneurial background like myself when I initially started, or you stumbled upon a great idea, or you just need some guidance through the early stages, this series will be helpful to you, and I want to help you be extremely successful in your business. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know who I am. But just in case you haven't been, my name is Monica Allen. I started an online business in 2002 called Stuff for Greeks with my then boyfriend and now husband of almost 21 years. In 2009, we opened a brick and mortar store called Zeus's Closet here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thankfully, our businesses are still going strong even through the pandemic. One thing I most remember from the early days is wishing I just had a quick and concise checklist to help me get it all done, to really get my business set up so I could focus on actually growing my business. And now, being the host of this podcast, I'm here to share my tips and advice on how to get started on your own entrepreneurial journey and be successful. Most of us know the statistics. Many businesses don't last past 2 years, let alone 5 or 10. Ethan and I have actually been in business together longer than we've been married. I want your business to stand the test of time, if that is what you desire. I want your business to beat the odds of most small businesses. So hopefully this series of the podcast will help you get on the right foot and help you get started onto a successful business. Now, most of this content will be pulled from my experiences, so I cannot speak specifically for your state laws and rules. I will do my best to keep things general, but in some cases, you will need and want to consult your own attorney and or accountant. I was recently very excited when I read an article that stated, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, more small business applications were completed in 2023 than any other year. This is great news. People are willing to take the risk and start their own business, and this is great for our economy. Before we jump into the details, specifically around starting your own business, before we start talking about the forms that need to be completed and the registrations and the bank accounts and all those things, I thought I would first start this series with talking about mindset. I like to start here because I've been through so many ups and downs in our business. There's been tears, there has been lots of laughter as well, but there has been some emotional moments in our business. And though many times when you look at someone on social media or you read about them in an article, it often seems like the tough times are glazed over by their success. But truthfully, entrepreneurship is difficult. And I want you to just go ahead and accept that. You're going to have challenges. Perhaps you have already been hit with your business idea, or you're praying for that divine download. Whatever the case may be, you will have a level of excitement around your business idea. Now, at this point, people fall into one or two buckets. There are people who will be extremely excited. They'll jump right into doing their logo, trying to find out how to start a business, figuring out how they'll fund their business, doing the research around their topic, their competition, all of those things. You will be all in. And then there's the other bucket where people get excited, think about the logo, may do some research, but pause and never execute, never move forward. This requires a mindset shift that will have to happen if you want to begin your business. One of the things you'll find in running your own business is that if you don't execute, no one else will. You will have to execute every single day to have a successful business. CJ mentioned this in our last episode. She had to get up after she left her full-time job. She had to get up and be motivated every day to get the work done. Because truly, if you don't put in the work, your business will not work. And in the realm of business, fostering the correct attitude is imperative for survival. This involves adopting the appropriate mindset elements. And once you have mastered the execution phase, there are 4 mindset components that I think are very essential for success. The first is be persistent. You will have to be persistent, even when you're told no, even when people don't believe in you. You will have to keep moving forward. If you don't know the story about Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, she was told no over and over again, but she did not give up. Just think how our world of undergarments would have been different had she given up. I can remember when we were told no for a loan around an office space that we wanted to buy. We were told no by the first bank we went to. That bank, we had family connections there. We had an account there, but we were told no. Then we went on to another bank and we were told no again. But luckily, we had an angel on our side because the gentleman we worked with on our loan really could see the vision of what we were trying to create. And he went above the person who told us no initially, and he got another no. He went again to someone else, and he got another no. Finally, he hit someone who gave us a yes. So not only do you have to be persistent, but you also want to find people around you who will be persistent with you, who will be on your side, whether it's a mentor, a coach, a loan officer. You need to find those people. And another thing I'll say about persistence is you may have people in your life who are very supportive. Your family members, they may be very supportive, but you may have some family or friends that aren't as supportive. They may have questions. They may have tough questions. And I would say when it comes to those questions, listen and answer them if you feel like they're coming from a positive place. Sometimes people want to protect us. They're scared for us. So assess where that person is coming from with their questions. You want to make sure you're not surrounding yourself with a whole bunch of naysayers, but it's okay to have people in your life that ask you questions because those questions can help you think through a process or think through some things. For example, if someone in your family says, okay, that seems like a good idea, but it's already been done. What's going to make you different? That's actually a very viable question. Because if you're going into a space where there's good competition, you do need to figure out what your differentiating factor is going to be. You will need to know what sets you apart from the competition. So definitely not a bad question for you to think through and answer. Number 2 is another P word for you. Be prepared to have to persevere. Perseverance is essential because during the tough times, you will have to push through those moments. I can recall times when it was difficult for us to meet payroll, or team members would leave at the most inopportune time, or things happen in life. Team members may have a death in their family, or team members may just have something that comes up that they have to tend to. But you know what? You have to keep going. You have to keep moving forward. You make adjustments where needed. In some cases, we even had to use our credit line to make sure we could meet payroll. But you figure out solutions to problems. You don't just throw up your hands and give up. You have to be prepared to persevere through the hard times. Number 3, if you're building your business while working your full-time job, which is something that Ethan and I both did, you will have to sacrifice some things. You may not be able to watch as much TV or go out with friends as much as you have in the past. But I tell you, when you're passionate about what you're doing and you really want to see your business grow, this really won't bother you because you'll be so excited about what you're putting into the world and what you're growing and what you're trying to create. But just know that your life may have to change a little bit in order to give your business the time that it needs. Because truthfully, what we focus on expands. And lastly, on this subject of mindset, be prepared to do what you say you're going to do. Ethan likens this to showing up. I love how he wraps it up in a very concise package. Show up. A couple of years ago, I was talking to a dressmaker. She makes these beautiful dresses for little girls, very elaborate. And we were talking about her website and talking about her business growth. And I said, oh, you really need to get some great photography of these dresses. And she said, Monica, I've tried so hard to do that. I have contacted 2 different photographers and both of them didn't show up. Both of them didn't come when they told me they would be here on the day and time and place. There is no way you can grow a business and have a successful business and have great Google reviews if you don't show up and do what you say for your customer or client. So that's number 4, making sure that you follow through with what you say you're going to do and you show up. Some people may disagree with me, but I strongly believe that the way you work for someone else, say you're in a position, a job, the way you work for someone else will be the way you work for yourself. And I know some people will say, that's not true. I'm going to work much harder for myself because it's mine. But the way you work for someone is a personality trait. If you go into a job and you are somewhat entrepreneurial in that job, you figure out ways to make things better. You're innovative. You're even figuring out ways to, of course, do stuff for yourself. You're figuring out ways to make more money in the business. You're being entrepreneurial. Perhaps if you save the company money, you can make more money and you can show that. So I truly believe that the way you work for a business, another company, another person, that is how you will also work for yourself. So if you call in sick a lot, you're probably going to do the same thing on your clients. Now, if you're sick and you have chronic illness, that's a whole different thing. But you have got to decide that you're going to be stellar at what you do. Now, don't get me wrong. We're all human, so we all make mistakes. But the goal is to be the best in your industry, whatever that industry is, because then your clients and customers will share that with other people. Let's wrap this up. Now, there's a lot more that goes into mindset, but these are the 4 key mindset components that I think make for excellent entrepreneurship and a successful business. And they are persistence, perseverance, sacrifice, and accountability. Persistence in that you know you're going to get some no's, but you have to keep fighting for the yeses. Perseverance, overcoming and never giving up despite the obstacles. Sacrifice, you're going to have to sacrifice time, money, something. And then accountability. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Show up to get it done. Thank you for listening today. You know, I often ask you all to follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Become Your Own Boss Podcast, and you can do that. However, I want to ask you to go over to our old school Facebook and join the Become Your Own Boss Facebook group. I set this group up over a year ago, and I don't know if I just forgot that I did it or forgot that it was there, but I would love to interact with you in the Facebook group. We can have more of an open dialogue, and I can learn more about your business and your goals for your business. And as the group grows, you'll be able to interact with other entrepreneurs as well and support other entrepreneurs and help each other out. So that is the goal of the Facebook group. So jump over and follow or become a part of the Become Your Own Boss Facebook group. I put the link in the show notes so you can easily just click and join the group. Oh, and don't forget to take a moment to share, rate, and review the podcast wherever you listen. And remember, now is the time. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss.